Okay, so welcome back. Hopefully you saw the previous episode where we worked with an exploration of our felt sense of dance. The moments when movement feels like dance and when it doesn't, or when we feel like we are dancing or not dancing. Today we're going to start by breaking down different ways we can approach our dancing. And today we're going to start with space and how you occupy it. And through that, we'll hopefully get a deepened awareness of yourself in movement and where you're moving. There's a term called positive and negative space, is it? Anyway, so we are positive, objects are positive, they fill the space. It comes from architecture. Negative is all the space which isn't occupied. So we're going to look at how we can move in negative space and relate, of course, to the positive space, to the walls, to the floor, to the objects, to others, other people's, other bodies. And maybe it goes without saying, but you can listen to this wherever you want. I advise you don't do it whilst having to do something where you need to concentrate, like driving or operating machinery, but that's on you. So let's start by noticing, just noticing the space around us, noticing the walls, the objects, the distances, the textures, the air around us. You can look around. You can maybe position yourself in different parts of the room. You can be sitting, lying, standing. But just position yourself and then take in the space around you. Observe how far you are from things and how it feels to be in relationship to those different spaces and different negative and positive spaces. Go where it feels comfortable. Ask yourself what kind of tension, what kind of restrictions are afforded or offered by that part of this space you're in. And they might be psychological and they might just be physical limitations. If you stand in the corner of a room, you're not going to be able to move as much as if you're in the middle, for example. And how does your body relate to those boundaries of your space? How does it make you feel to be in that type of space? So let's do that for a bit. You can pause and then come back once you've explored your space. Great. So now we've explored different parts of this space. Now I'd like us to explore our personal space. So the space around where we position ourselves in space. We can notice how the body extends or contracts or reaches or avoids different aspects of the space we're in, sort of where we are. You can try filling it in different ways. Be wider, taller, smaller, closer to different surfaces, or further away. So find yourself somewhere to be and then start to explore how you can be smaller, taller, wider, closer, or more expanded. And ask yourself, how does your awareness of your body change as you explore? How does your awareness of your body change as you explore? Can you feel the difference between how you occupy the space when you're aware versus when you're not paying attention? So how does the space change when we focus on it, when it becomes a part of our dance and our understanding of our dance? So just pause and then give yourself a chance to do that as many times as you wish and in many parts of the room as you wish. Just exploring our personal space. Great. So now we have explored our personal space, I think we can imagine what comes next. Now we're going to explore moving through space. Now we start to explore more of the space around us. We're going to explore and notice paths and directions and feel those distances that we can make. One of the episodes that is coming out soon in Ep2 Dance was with Dan Canham, and we danced towards each other from a mile apart. So you can imagine how that would be, or you could go try it. Try dancing for a whole mile. So you can walk, you can crawl, you can roll, you can shift your position in ways which will direct you across that path. And it doesn't have to be a mile, it can be small paths. It can be just shifting from one side of the sofa to the next. But we're looking for those pathways, and we're looking for how we interact with the environment, how it changes our awareness of the space, the shapes of our movement, and how it changes our relationship to our personal space, which we just practiced. So you can think about, how did you find that path? Or how can you find a path that feels the way to go? Where does it come from? What leads you towards that direction, towards that path? Are you avoiding something? Are you following something? Is something flowing, or is something guiding or inhibiting? Are you having to climb over something? Are you having to go under something? Can you move in ways which are unusual or surprising? Is the pathway causing you to make decisions which maybe you wouldn't normally? Are those negative and positive spaces changing what you expect? And what happens if you move faster or slower or change direction? What's causing those shifts in tempo and speed and direction? Okay, give it a pause and go away and try that. All right, now we're moving, right? At least we're moving through space. Now, I'd like you to interact with the space. I'd like you to choose how you're moving and with what, in the presence of what. So we have our personal space, we have the space we're transitioning across, the direction, the pathway, and we have our sense of being in different parts of the room, but how are we dancing with different things, with different people, different objects, and maybe even different spaces? So now you can sort of choose and move and shift how we're occupying and being with different things. Experimenting with proximity, which is just how close we are to things, distance, like how far we're traveling or how far we are, and the boundaries. Like we have a sense of personal boundary. What happens when we challenge that? What happens when we stand face to a wall? Or what happens when we slide under a table? What happens to our dancing? So you can think, how does awareness of the environment or the imagined others influence your movement? How does, where do you feel free, contained, or restricted? So again, this taps into our first lesson. What is this felt sense of dance? Where is it coming from? And how does space play a part of that? And our awareness of others and ourself and our space. Okay? I'm saying a lot. So pause and come back in a minute. Great. So now we've been dancing. What did you notice about your relationship to space? How does the awareness of space affect your movement? How did you discover new ways of moving, extending, contracting? How might this awareness inform your future practice of dancing? Be it improvisation or choreographed movements. Well, what is it telling you about what kind of dance you want to do? I recommend you keep a journal of your relationship to these concepts and your experiences and thoughts. Dance is very speculative. It can be sort of unnameable. So by trying to name or keep trying to name, we practice understanding what it is we're experiencing. I think dance is always there, as this unworded thing. So it's not about naming it before it exists. But if we practice naming it after and sort of giving it some prompt, some sense of articulation, we just become better at understanding what it is we like to do and how we do it. So then we can better continue that and articulate that and create with that. It's a slippy thing, dance. So try and enjoy that play. So that's it. Take a minute, reflect. And then next time we're going to look at different qualities of dance. We're going to go through many different ways we could think about our dancing. And hopefully this isn't too scary. We're just moving in space. There's no right, there's no wrong, right? And we're just playing with our own felt sense of what dance could be. And the more we play, the better we get. The more we know, the more we can control and hone and practice and refine what it is we really want. If I just showed you what to do, you aren't owning that. You're not in control of that. Not until you've done it many, many times, and then you can start breaking it down and challenging what I've shown you. By going through it audibly like this, hopefully you become in control and possess the knowledge that we're creating together or that you're creating in relationship to these prompts that I'm giving. Okay, great. I'll see you next time. Hi, thanks for listening. If you can support the podcast, please go to paypal.me/dancepeter. I'm just looking for a little bit of funding to help support the cost of the hosting. I hope you enjoyed the episode. Thank you so much.